Hola amigos, hola amigas, Dorian here from Hooverlux. Welcome, bienvenido, croeso, salam alaikum. Welcome to the channel, y'all. So what I have here for you today is a quick unboxing of this Morphy Richards Oval Slow Cooker. Now I'm filming this on Christmas Eve and it is 9 PM and I'm going to be using this to slow cook some lamb for the Christmas dinner. Now unfortunately our other slow cooker passed away because it simply just stopped working properly, and I was like, you know what, I really need a new slow cooker. So we were in Asda and we saw this one. So I thought, well, I need a nice big slow cooker because I use it for, I use it quite a lot for cooking meat in it and stuff. And I thought, right, okay, let's go for one. Now this one does appear to be a little bit smaller than our original one. Yeah, it is smaller than the other one that we had. So let's get it out of the box. The box on the floor. Now, if you've never had a slow cooker before, I can highly recommend them because they are very, very good for many different things, not just for soups and stews and stuff, but also for meat. Joints of meat, chickens for example. You can cook a chicken in this, in the slow cooker, and it will taste really, really nice. So there we go. There it is. Now let me just take off. They never make the cords long on this, so on these machines, so you have to have something, you have a plug socket nearby. So we have the lid, sealed lid, we have the crock pot itself, and then we have this. On the front we have the dial, off, high, low, medium. The one that I did have was, did have an automatic feature on it. This one doesn't. So it's model 48715A, 290 watts, and there's a serial number, and there's the helpline number as well from Morphy Richards. This part is very light. It's not much thicker than thick tin foil, to be honest, but they do a really good job. Now the automatic one that I had on the other one, which I think it was a Breville, you switched it on to the automatic and then it started off really high, and then once it had reached the temperature it would go down to low automatically, and that's what had broken on the other one. The capacity on that one was bigger, and I didn't realise this doesn't have the automatic feature, but it doesn't matter. Let's put it off. So what are we going to be cooking in this today? We are going to be cooking this delicious leg of lamb. Let me put you down a bit. There we go. So we're going to be cooking this leg of lamb. Now, unfortunately, it's 600 o'clock. Hang on a second. There we go. Just had to wait for 9 chimes. Now, as you can see, this leg of lamb is too big for this. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of trimming down on this. I'm going to have to trim the meat down on it further, and then remove part of the bone so that I can fit it inside this slow cooker. And the first thing I need to do is to wash this out. So I'm going to wash this out and come back to you when I've done that. Okay, so I thoroughly washed and dried the pot and the lid. Next thing I have to do I'll just move that to one side, is to take the leg of lamb, and what I'm going to do is just with this very, very sharp knife is hold the bone and slice down the leg as far down as I can. To expose a good chunk of the bone. This is a bit gruesome. Through the very tough sinews of the bone. And what I want to do is try and get down to this joint, and then I can remove this part of the bone. So I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, so I've got the lamb. I have also got here, I have got 2 packs of this casserole vegetables ready to cook, because I need to do a base to put the meat on. I don't want the bottom of the pan to burn the meat. And then the juice that's left over in this is going to be used then for to make the gravy. So it's not going to go to waste because it's going to be used for the gravy. So I have put the vegetables in the bottom. I am now going to take my piece of lamb and pop it on top of the vegetables. I'm quickly just going to go and wash my hands. Okay, so I've just boiled the kettle. So I'm going to put some hot water and what I've got here are 2 beef stock pots. You can use lamb ones wherever. I don't happen to have any, so I just thought I'd use these. Just empty it in. You can also use red wine in this as well. You can use as the base, or whatever you want basically. But because I'm going to make it into a gravy, I have just decided to use a beef one. So I'm just going to melt that down. I think I'll add a little bit more water. Pour that over my lamb. There we go. Knock that down to the side. And I'm going to season it on the top with salt. Some pepper. Some mixed herbs, some garlic granules, and I've got some fresh mint sauce that I've made. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to splodge some of the mint on top, so the minty flavour will go through to it as well. I'm not going to put this back into the mint thing. I put it straight to the sink. Then I'm going to put the lid on, and we are going to plug it in like so. Now you must not remove this lid once the lid is in. So the lid is on, and I am going to set it to low, and I'm going to leave that overnight. Now, whilst that's cooking, I think we'll get on with the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so this is my Brussels sprouts recipe for the people who don't like Brussels sprouts, which is like me. So I've chopped up some bacon. These are just mishaps. Pop them in the frying pan. I'm going to get myself a wooden spoon. And whilst that's heating up, I'm not going to put much oil in. I'm just going to put a little bit of vegetable oil to start it off. I'm going to move on to the onions and the mushrooms. So I'm going to start with the mushrooms first. I'm just going to peel the mushrooms. I prefer using the larger mushrooms because they're easy to peel. And I do like, a lot of people don't like mushrooms. I love fried mushrooms. I'm not wrapped on them raw. I do like them cooked. So this recipe I saw on, I can't remember if it was Nigella or somebody, I can't remember, or Jamie Oliver or one of them, and I've kind of like adapted it because I'm not a fan of sort of like just plain old steamed mushrooms. So I'm going to chop these up. I'll chop them up kind of small. Put them in with the bacon. And what I want to do is kind of just fry this down a little bit before I put in the Brussels sprouts. Now I'm doing this the night before so that tomorrow, that's all I've got to do is to reheat this. And Bob's your uncle. And then it's brilliant then to mix in with Bubble and Squeak on Boxing Day with all your leftovers. So there we go. I've chopped up the mushrooms. Now I'm going to do an onion. Peel the onion. I'm going to chop the onion into quarters, and I'm going to use my chopper to chop them up nice and fine. Do that very well. There we go. So there we go, I've chopped up the onions. So I'll move you down over it. So I'm just going to increase the temperature a bit and start frying these down. If you need to add a little bit more oil, you can. No, I'm not going to add any salt into it because of the bacon. But I am going to use some of this Fry Light with the garlic flavour. So I'm going to spray some of that in. Some pepper. And then keep stirring this to fry it down. So you want it kind of caramelized a bit. down a bit. So I'm going to clear my board, and we're going to do the Brussels sprouts. So what I'm going to do to these Brussels sprouts is I'm going to chop the ends off, like so. Remove some of the outer covering of the Brussels sprout until it's completely clean. And then what I do, I'll get my chopping board back. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is chop up the Brussels sprouts like so, and I'm going to mix that in with the rest of it. So I'll do this on fast forwards and mix in the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so I got the temperature up high because I want to fry off the liquid. That mainly comes from the mushrooms. You don't have to add the mushrooms in because they do add a little bit of grey to it, but they do taste really, really, really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like so. And I'm going to turn it down to low. And I'm going to put... I haven't got the lid for it. Bugger. Okay, anyway, so I've got it down on low. And I'm going to leave it cook like that on low for about 20 minutes. And then give it another then flash fry to crisp it up a bit. Okay, I'm just frying this off. Now it doesn't look much, I do know it looks a bit mush, but it does taste absolutely yummy. You can leave out the mushrooms if you want and it will still stay more green, but it's like a bubble and a squeak, and with the bacon and the flavours and everything, it does smell and taste really, really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to keep frying this for a few minutes, and then I'm going to leave it to one side, leave it cool down, put it in the fridge once it's cooled down, and then refry it again tomorrow before dinner. I can section out a little piece of this, I won't need all of it, and then I can just fry part of it up to go with the dinner. And with some gravy and some mint sauce or whatever you want to fancy on your dinner, it's going to taste fantastic. So right, that is the unboxing of the... Turn that off, there we go, and leave the lid on. So that is the unboxing of the slow cooker and my own little recipe for my Brussels sprouts. So there we go, we can see the lamb in there cooking on low. So we will come back to this tomorrow morning and we will take a look at that lamb.